Hey friends, and welcome to the Mind and Body Strong podcast, a place for women to redefine their relationship with food and their bodies, tune into their inner wisdom, and become the best version of themselves. I'm your host, Katie Pichanowski, a health and mindset coach, intuitive eating and How the Every Size advocate, nap queen, and bookworm. Join me each week for empowering conversations, stories, and actual steps to help you master your mindset and drop the obsession around food and your body so you can love the skin you're in. I can't wait to guide you towards unlocking your highest potential. And that journey starts right now. Let's jump in. Hello, beautiful friends. It is a Sunday as I'm recording this beautiful day here in Dallas. And I was actually struggling before hopping on to record this episode with a lot of just my internal beliefs. And I want to just talk through exactly what was going on in my head and how I was able to interrupt that thought pattern to be able to shift and actually realize my true stories and the truth about my worth and all of these things. Okay. So right before jumping on to do this podcast, my brain was just filled with all of these nonsense thoughts about how nobody cares what I have to say, that I don't have what it takes to help someone experience true transformation, even though I've experienced much transformation in my own life over the course of my whole life, but really in the past year and a half that I've experienced just massive transformation in all areas of my life and really been able to make a lot of my dreams become realities. And right before jumping on here, I had those stupid little thoughts and I had to think to myself, all right, Katie, you could either sit here and allow this thought, this fleeting thought that is not even true, to take over your attention, to bring you down, or you could write a new one. And so, of course, because I'm on here recording this for you guys, I did write a new belief for myself. I did talk myself through this, and I do this quite often because our minds are really just conditioned to go to these negative thought patterns, especially with how we've been just conditioned throughout our lives and with society and social media and all these things. And I'm not immune to that. And I'm totally fine with admitting that because I am a human and I have my own struggles and my own belief systems that I'm working through as well. But what I did is I opened up the notes on my phone and I said, holy shit, if I don't share my coaching, if I don't share my story with all of you people out there, then I risk the chance of you guys staying stuck in your own negative thought patterns and not allowing you to help break through those, to help pivot your thinking, to really shift and transform everything in your life. Because really these thoughts, and when we think them on repeat, that's when they become our beliefs and where they're stored in our unconscious. And I'm going to do a lot more episodes on kind of uncovering what that means, why it's important to understand the biology and just neuroscience of how the brain works so that we can experience habit change and be able to drive ourselves towards the goals that we really want to achieve. It's so important, right? And those beliefs, I thought to myself, and I wrote this out in my notes, like, I don't want you guys out there to be trapped in your beliefs like I once thought I was. And I want you to know that it's possible to create this life with the amount of money you desire, with a healthy relationship around food and your body image where you're not stressing about it all the time, where you can cultivate loving relationships, just full-hearted loving relationships, whether that be friend or romantic relationships in your life, and so much more. And if I don't share this message with you, and if I don't share with you what's actually going on in my life and how I'm working through it, then I'm doing everyone a misjustice, or however you say it. Words are not coming to me easily right now, but I decided that not showing up for everyone out there who is struggling with the same thing was way more painful than me just sitting here and just sulking in whatever thoughts I was allowing myself to be taken by. And so I immediately was like, okay, is this true though? Is it true that no one cares what I have to say? Is it true that I don't know enough to help somebody experience true transformation? No, No, neither of those are true. They are just fleeting thoughts and our ego mind taking over to try and convince us otherwise. It's these negative thought loops that we just get stuck in. And if we can catch them and be aware and be like, oh, there you are, I see you, and be able to acknowledge and recognize and then just be able to let it go and reframe it, that's where we can really start to experience a lot of amazing change in our lives. And that's really where my transformation started. I feel like I was at the bottom, like this time last year, actually, in 2018, because the last half of 2018, I was going through a breakup with a boyfriend that I was with for 6 years. And I thought my identity was just lost. I no longer knew who I was. I was punishing myself with food, quite honestly, and taking out all of this frustration and anger and sadness on myself. And I got caught up in all of these negative thought loops, and I just felt powerless. And I remember waking up every day with this weight on my chest, feeling like it was just so hard to get out of bed, and that I was so tired, and that I just wanted someone to come save me from this. And it wasn't until many months later when I finally was able to own the fact that I am in control of my life. I am in control of my thoughts and how I react to situations going on in my life, and I can take that control back. And that's what I want to be able to teach you guys how to do, is how to take control of the thoughts in your head and rewire your beliefs so that you can create the life that you want in every aspect, in health and wealth and happiness. And it's completely possible for you. And there was a moment in my journey where something just clicked for me. There's a difference between understanding something and really knowing it and like applying it, right? We get overloaded with information in our society today. We just have so much information at our fingertips with smartphones and the internet everywhere we go. But it's not more information that we need. It's that we need to apply it to our lives and to practice it daily. And I wasn't doing that for a really long time. I was just allowing myself to sulk and choosing to be unhappy until it was just enough was enough. I was sick of feeling sorry for myself. I knew that I had to change. And one of the talks that my business coach gave on a topic I already knew, and for some reason, in that moment, it just clicked with me that our language, how we talk to ourselves, not only to like how we talk about ourselves to other people, but how we're talking about ourselves in our mind, matters so much in how we're feeling on the day-to-day. And our feelings, my friends, that is our compass for how we are going to drive action and drive results in our life. So if we aren't allowing ourselves to fully experience what is going on with these feelings and what thoughts and beliefs are causing these repeating feelings, especially negative feelings in this case, to surface, then we're really missing out on a lot of transformation that we can do. And really the biggest part of this is becoming aware of it. I always acknowledge my new clients coming into me doing one-on-ones when we're on our first call and they're explaining to me, expressing to me the struggles and what's standing in their way and what they really want. I always take the time to acknowledge that they were able to express what they want and what's stopping them and how big of a deal that is. Because so many of us are blind to what it is that's actually stopping us. And so many of us are just waking up every single day and reacting to life and not taking ownership of what we really want and making that a priority. And I always love to acknowledge my one-on-one clients and say, the fact that you were aware of that and can express that to me is a big deal. And I'm never going to let you forget that. And that's really where, in my experience and with so many of my clients, that's where transformation begins, is this awareness process to be able to notice, oh my gosh, I'm thinking these negative thoughts all day long, and it's not in a judgmental way. It's very much with curiosity and love, and saying, oh, I see you there. I wonder where I might still be resisting something in my life. I wonder where I might still be restricting in my life. I wonder what I can let go of. And that's been a huge experience for me lately when I feel these feelings come up like I did right before I jumped on to record this podcast. I said to myself, first of all, is this true? But then it was an opportunity. That feeling was an opportunity for me to let something go. And that story that I was living by, that no one wants to hear what I want to say, because I grew up as a really introverted kid and, felt there's a lot of stories that I built up in my head about people don't want to be my friend and I don't have close relationships for whatever reason. And those stories don't serve me anymore. And I'm going to go back and forgive that little girl who created those stories in order to protect herself so that she can thrive and feel safe. But at this point in my life, I don't need those anymore. And so it's like this process in my head where I'm like, thank you for getting me to where I'm at. But that's a part of my past, and I'm going to let it go. And I just let it go. And one thing that's been really helpful in doing that is literally just journaling it out, saying, hey, I see you, thought, or I see you, belief. I see you, feeling. Sometimes if you're not super aware of what you're thinking, it's best to start with the feeling, because most of the time you can tell me what you're feeling. And from there, what are the thoughts that are going on? What is the situation that caused all these thoughts and feelings to start sparking from you? Because really, that trigger is just enlightening something in you and giving you the opportunity to learn more about yourself. So our feelings and our thoughts, they're so important. And being aware of them is truly the first step to transformation. And I don't want any of you to find yourself stuck in negative thought patterns any longer. And it's a daily practice. Every single day I have these little triggers that come up and I have to remind myself, oh, look, an opportunity to grow. Oh, look, an opportunity to let something go. Oh, look, an opportunity for me to forgive something within myself or to forgive a situation or a person. And that's such a gift. And I'm really starting to see it in that way now. And I really want to encourage you to do the same. I hope that shed a little bit of light as far as overcoming these thoughts and beliefs that might be coming into your life and how to pivot them. And I look forward to sharing even more techniques and just skills and things that I have used myself and are using daily to be able to overcome these crappy mindsets that are keeping us blocked from having the most amazing life that we desire. You can have anything you desire, my friend, anything. It might seem impossible right now, but I'm telling you, you can have anything. And I'm going to remind you of it every single day. Thanks so much for listening in, my friends. I love you so much. Have a fantastic day.
Thank you so much for listening into the Mind and Body Strong podcast. You are what makes this movement and message possible. Before you go, could you do me a favor and leave me a review on iTunes? This is how the podcast can be discovered by more people and impact even more lives. And don't forget to tag me in your Instagram stories at Katie Pijanowski so I can see what you're listening into. I love you all so much, and I'll catch you again on next week's episode.